Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic, host of Bachelor Recap, a guy's review. It's week 5 recap of Clayton Eckhart's season of The Bachelor. We'll get into all this. Do me a favor, follow me on Instagram at dneals. I got new reels and things like that coming on. If you want to join the Patreon, go to patreon.com/Dave Neal. I've got a backyard stand-up show there on the Patreon, plus hours upon hours of behind-the-scenes content. I'll be going live today on the Patreon if you want to join this late morning today, so you can come be a part of that Patreon and work with Dave. You get to see how we do things on the back end. And also, look at this. I posted on the Dave Neal's community on Facebook that we just received monetization. Congrats, your YouTube channel, The Dave Neal Show, has been accepted into the YouTube partnership program. We did it, folks. That's the non-Bachelor show. We got it monetized in less than a month, which is like very hard to do, and that means we're going to be making extra content for non-Bachelor related news. If you want to do the dishes or deal with your in-laws, put a little ear pod in one ear, and then you can listen to me instead of paying attention to others. All right, let's get into the story. As you guys know, I take notes, read them back to you. No edits, no jump cuts, just me, you guys, and a little bit of humor. We start with Shanae talk. Susie says throwing a trophy in the pond was insane. You know when a lady says it's insane and overemphasizes that it's a big deal. And sure enough, it is. You don't need pond water in the trophy. What are you doing with that, right? Rachel says Clayton doesn't know the full picture. Of course he doesn't know the full picture. He's red flag colorblind. Welcome to your 20s, bro. Every guy in his 20s is red flag colorblind. The blonde hair and the sassy look like that just diffuses whatever red flag might be there. You got to understand that. All right, so Clayton takes Serene on the first one-on-one date to Pleasure Pier. They go to Pleasure Pier, which is the saltiest place for a fantasy suite. All right, folks. Oh, it's Barnacle Billy here to shuck your oysters. Let's rub some rubber bands on those lobster claws. Okay, folks. Clayton serves Serene some ice cream. Well, that's fun. They do some ice cream. There they are with the ice cream. Okay, nothing like a little, dairy flatulence to get the mood started. Clayton, what are you in the mood for, he says, besides me? Well, isn't that a tall scoop of vanilla milkshake? Everyone says, oh, Clayton's just like so vanilla. Don't you guys love vanilla ice cream? I mean, look, don't get me wrong. Big mint chocolate chip, love a pistachio. Throw some other things in there, brownie swirl, of course. But your boy's on record for never having turned down a vanilla milkshake. I'll tell you that much. Nighttime date, Serene tells Clayton that she doesn't open up a lot to people. Clayton agrees that his dad was tough as well. Tough house, tough rules, that they don't talk emotions. So, of course, no surprise they both make it on a TV show where they have to share their emotions. Serene says she's had a lot of loss in the last few years. Grandma and cousin that was a year younger than her. This is horrible. Let me go. Yeah, this is, it's just a bummer. But this is why we watch this show. They're humans, right? Cousin struggle with drugs. She doesn't know the details. Look, when you don't know the details, you know what that means, right? Horrible way to go. Wishing everyone out there can get the help that they need and communicate with your loved ones. And not just on the receiving end. If you think someone's off, give them a phone call. We need to make sure we go back to calling each other. Too often we're like, oh, they look like they're fine on Instagram. Instagram is a crock of you-know-what. This is not about looking fine on Instagram. But picking up the phone and keeping our cul-de-sac together. All right, so as Serene accepts the rose, good date, charming, romantic, heartfelt, A+. It was a great date. Great date for Serene. Oh, but look at that, right? There's, this is the problem. You start smooching somebody, and then you got a little bit of, melted ice cream going down the 95 right there. You got the, we call these rainbow jimmies from Rhode Island, but some people would call these sprinkles. Does anyone else call them jimmies or sprinkles? I think it's specifically a New England term. Anyway, she's got an interesting chocolate scoop on top of what appears to be strawberry. I'll be honest, strawberry ice cream, worse than vanilla. So if you want to call somebody something mundane, you should be like, oh, you see that? Just, he's so strawberry, strawberry fields. All right, let's move it along. I'm digressing. The cocktail ceremony, let's go to that. Where's the cocktail ceremony? Oh, here it is. The cocktail ceremony is a round robin of people calling Shanae out. Teddy goes, hopefully we can resolve this quickly. Teddy's like, hopefully we'll just get through this Shanae storyline and then have a peaceful rest of the week. So funny, Teddy. Quit being so strawberry. That doesn't really make sense. Oh, boy. I'd love it if you guys enjoy Strawberry Dave. Strawberry Dave. All right. Hey, Teddy's like, hopefully we can resolve this quickly. The producers are like, you mean milk it till next episode quickly, right? Because that's exactly what's happening. We're taking this baby to Toronto. Clayton, he's doing full group apologies now. He's like, all right, everyone who was everyone who was on the winning team from the group date, please come up. He's crowdfunding his apologies. He's like, all right, I need to investigate every single person that lives in the house. Marlena tells Clayton that as an athlete, you take the L with pride. I think that's great. She's like, listen, I'm an athlete. You're an athlete. We both know when you take the L, you take the L. You own up to it. Basically saying Shanae didn't do that because, of course, she lost the group date and then went back. And she did everything the villains do. Is it a surprise? Do we need the X-Files music? Is it a surprise? That's not it. Is it a surprise? That's not it. Hold on. I can't see that. I got all these new lights. I can't see my screens. Is it a surprise that the villain on every season decides to go crash a date they weren't invited to? Or do we live in a world where all the elaborate strawberry contestants get together? Okay. Losing my mind. Marlena tells, okay, so they're like, dude, she threw our trophy in fresh water. Clayton goes, I didn't know she tossed the trophy, right? Toss the trophy sounds like a metaphor that athletes use in the Olympic Village for post-gold medal sex. Oh my gosh, did you see that? That was amazing. He won gold at halfpipe. Now he's going to go toss the trophy with the Norwegians. Oh boy.
Oh my
What can
God.
you do? All right. Well, if you're not too busy tossing the trophy, toss your finger on top of that like button. Give this video a like an odd number of times. I think we're heating up. All right. Yeah, we worked some Olympics stuff into there. You guys watching the Olympics? Shanae is warned that these girls are digging her grave. It was oddly good advice from the other lady. Take a deep breath, Shanae, and get ready to fight. That's true. They're like, listen, they're all in there talking about you right now. You better get your ducks in a row, as the kids say. Shanae says, I'll ruin a cocktail party if I have to. These bitches ain't sending me home. Which, by the way, was the funniest. I'll ruin a cocktail party if I have to is the best line I've ever heard in Bachelor Nation. So much so that I decided to commission this shirt. I had my fiance Tasha design this last night. I'll ruin a cocktail party if I have to. You can buy this now on the Dave Neal merch store, which is linked below, attached to my YouTube. Isn't that nice? Put that on. You go out to the bars. Guys will be like, you can ruin my cocktail party. And be like, you're a little strawberry for me. All right, folks. So anyway, she in fact does ruin the cocktail party. Clayton pulls Shanae aside to hear her side of the story. Shanae admits to throwing the trophy, which is not even on the top 10 list of problematic behavior. It's like, no one cares about the trophy. We're still going back on the neurodivergence thing. Villain's gonna vil, but you can't throw. Okay. Clayton says her actions are very hard to defend. Shanae says it isn't her character and she wants to apologize. Who taught her how to apologize? Taylor Nolan? She go to the Taylor Nolan School of Apology? That's a TNSA, the Taylor Nolan School of Apology. She apologizes and sniffles, says she's nervous, wants to get past it, says she said things she didn't mean, kind of like the apology. Susie says give her space to grow and prove who she is. And that's exactly what I like about the show. They could have kicked her off, but if she's really changed, let's see it. And if she hasn't, we'll see that too. Clayton rewards Shanae's apology with a good makeout sesh. They go for the old makeout. She then says to the camera, hardest thing I've ever had to do was apologize to people when I wasn't sorry. I need an Oscar. Yikes, loving the villain. I have to tell you, this is going to sound crazy. This might sound crazy, but I actually believed, here's what I believe, and this made a lot of people upset. I believe Shanae's apology was real, and the tears were real. And then I also believe in the moments that she felt stupid and went back to being producer driven and said, it was all a mistake. That's just what I believe. And maybe that's the fact that I don't believe she's that good of an actress where she could have been crying and sniffling. But hey, I've been duped before by a blonde or two. Absolutely. Hey, I've been duped by strawberry colored hair, blondes. Okay. But my point is, I can empathize with Clayton when it comes to not being able to read red flags because we paint them white. Just get that spray paint out. Oh, red flag. Not anymore. We just made art out of your red flag. You show me a red flag, I'll turn it into art. I should get a Pinterest account. Welcome to Dave's Pinterest account. What does he do? He just takes red flags and he turns them into lesser looking red flags. He just puts a little yellow in there, okay. All right, moving along. Rose ceremony. In this week's too much info moment, Shanae's vajayjay is swatete. Did you see that? Shanae's vajayjay is swatete. All right, so it's no roses for my good friend Jill from Rhode Island. R.I.P. to my Rhode Island contestant. Lindsay W. She has a good TikTok. I will be sharing it later. We're going to have so much content coming out today, so just hang tight. Sierra had to go, and she gave good advice. She was like, don't mess this up. Don't let these women. Sierra was like the good angel on his shoulder that he just kept on refusing to listen to. Sierra's like, you got to watch out for Shanae. And he's like, get the hell off of me. Like, just shushed her aside like it was dandruff to him. You got to listen to Sierra. She tried. All right, let's keep this party moving. Clayton tells the ladies they're going international to the far-off city of Toronto, Canada. What, was Ottawa taken? You couldn't get to Victoria? Maybe, couldn't make it to Nova Scotia? You couldn't make it to, what's it called? The Curse of Oak Island? Boy, they need a date on Oak Island. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you're missing out. There's an island in Nova Scotia where there's a bunch of treasure apparently buried, and they've been searching for it. But who am I? Just treasure hunter Dave. I'm searching for treasure in this season. Let's find a couple doubloons on this date. Speaking of doubloons, Gabby gets a one-on-one date. They go for a helicopter ride. It looks like her jeans got stuck in the helicopter blade, right? Oh my gosh, what's going on there? Let's get the I don't mind it. It's a lot of thigh. It's a weird tan line you're going to get out there. It looks like home plate on one leg. All right. We're speaking of going for home plate. All right. Clayton's trying to round the bases. They play street hockey, perfectly friendly sport for canoodling involving zero skill, high sticking, but enough about Clayton's, whatever. Anyway. You got the joke. They eat some beaver tail, which is exactly how you start a good fantasy suite. All right, folks, come on. It's a family show. Fried dough pastries, folks. Beaver tail, fried dough pastries. All in. From New England, we call those doughboys. What do you guys call those? We just call it a doughboy. Beaver tail sounds way cooler. All right, Gabby mentions her estranged relationship with her mom. So sad. It really is. She breaks down talking about her mom, touching stuff. You don't pick your family, but you get the family you need, not the family you want, right? So hopefully she's learned some life lessons about her family. She dated Dean too, right? Which is interesting because Dean's got an estranged relationship with his dad. So do broken homes find each other? I don't know. In my own right, my family was, broken single mom, but, I was very lucky that my stepdad's a rock star, so no complaints there. Group date, Russell Peters walks in and starts roasting everybody. He calls Clayton vanilla. Jesse Palmer introduces Canadian legend Russell Peters, which, by the way, I've got friends who have worked with Russell Peters and have said that he's a very generous tipper for his opening comics, which is always good to know. If you don't know him, he's really big internationally. He sells out really large rooms, but in the United States, he's lesser known. But you can find all of his stuff on YouTube. Russell says, the meaner, the funnier. Oh boy, someone's getting canceled today. Marlena opened the set, crushed it with a Shanae herpes joke. No sore losers here, folks. All right, get it? Okay, that's a complex 2 joke. Sarah is the youngest and makes fun of Mara, the oldest. Yikes. Mara's going to put a hit out on her. It was good. But of course, when you make fun of older people, oh boy. It's so funny because we're all going to age anyway, but it's just funny when you're young and like, you're old. And it's like, yeah, she's 30. Some people were upset. Oh, why do we always have to make fun of women's age? I mean, I don't know. It's either that or there's it's just everyone ages. So it's a universal thing to make fun of. And then you can make fun of the young chick. Mara did the perfect thing. She responded with young jokes. So this is torture for Clayton because he's forced to kind of chuckle along as they do this whole thing. There's Mara right there. So yeah, and what can you do? I think humor is a huge sign of intelligence. And I think the women that can show their humor, like Marlena, was so funny. I'd love if they had like a YouTube channel where they really took you behind the scenes, showed their full sets. I was surprised that they didn't show anyone bombing. Usually they'll show one contestant who just eats it. I'm sure that happened. They just decided it wasn't worth it. They kind of made Shanae the villain still. She's the common enemy, which is, look, it's such a bonding moment to have a common enemy. Surprised nobody bombed. That's the thing. You need a common enemy. We don't really have that. We don't really have a common enemy right now. Everyone's so divided, which is why we need an alien invasion to get us all together. As I said on the live stream, Shanae is the alien invasion of the show. She's the UFO. They can all be like, we don't like each other. We're all competing, but we really don't like that. And then you put your arms down and you hug your neighbor, right? We're not there yet. So here's my plan for getting a staged alien attack. 2-on-1 starts. I'm so annoyed. So here's the 2-on-1, right? It's an effing 2-on-1. Can you believe it? I love when they realize it's a 2-on-1, when it's like the end of like them saying the group date, and it's like, who's left? Shanae and Genevieve? Oh, I do declare. This is going to be drama. And of course, it's like 5 minutes left in the show, and they're just starting the 2-on-1, so we're all like, they're not going to get to the conclusion. Niagara Falls, the producers coach Clayton on making this date feel more serious. Clayton is he's too kind of a guy, which is a good credit towards him. He can't play it seriously. Even in front of the villains, he's still like a cheery guy. He's like, you're my arch nemesis, but I have dimples. You know what I mean? So, hey, good for him. All right, so that's where we live off. They leave us off there. It ends with Genevieve and Shanae in what looks like an Uber pool. You ever been in an Uber pool pre-pandemic and you're like, don't want to acknowledge the person next to you? It's like, spend an extra $1.50 and get your own private car. What do I know? Let me know what you guys think. We have a ton of content coming your way. Dave Neal's community on Facebook is free if you want to join that membership. And also, Patreon is as little as $5 a month. If you want to join that, you can be part of the Work with Dave crowd. It's always a couple dozen of us. We have 200 members. And I'll turn on the live streams, and I'll literally start just making content, photoshops, and planning my day. And you guys can watch the behind the scenes and how that works while you chat, and we play some music. And that community is available for as little as $5 a month. Cancel anytime. And of course, Dave Neal Show on YouTube is now monetized, so we'll be making more content over there. Let me know what you guys think. We'll talk to y'all in a little bit. Bye, everybody.